What's up, everybody? Welcome to another League on Arena with me, Jerupidus. And today we're going to be playing Selesnya Collected Company. This is the deck that I used to go 8-2 in the Historic Challenge, getting the trophy there, and it felt super sweet. So let's check it out. This is obviously another Collected Company deck, so you're going to be playing 31 creatures. And then we have a little bit of a main deck hate here, and that's going to be Yasharn. That really helps you in the sacrifice matchup. And then this deck is very naturally good against Gruul, because your collected companies can be like 2 removal spells, and theirs just make them more creatures. You have a Skyclave Apparition. This card is insanely good. It breaks the general rule of white cards that exile things, where you don't ever actually get the card back that is exiled under Apparition. You just get back a token that is an XX. And while that sounds like kind of a huge drawback, it's actually much less bad than them just getting back the permanent they want back. And so this is an awesome catch-all for things like Witch's Oven. You can hit... I mean, basically just you name it, but it does actually deal with artifacts and enchantments as well, which is pretty sweet. We have some main deck Garruk's Harbinger. These are pretty obvious why they're good, but Hexproof from Black does come up a lot, and then being able to draw cards off it is a big deal. It also helps enable your Great Henge, as you'll see over here. Between Lovestruck Beast, Harbinger, and Kazandu Mammoth, you're pretty good at casting a turn 3 Henge. Your best draws will definitely involve you doing that. And one more thing about Gruul is that very frequently, at least with the stock list currently, they just literally can't beat a Lovestruck Beast. Like, very often, I will just go Elf Beast, and they basically can't attack without 2-for-1ing themselves. It's insane. So if you're looking for a deck that really beats up on Gruul, and Gruul's extremely popular on the ladder right now, this is a great deck to do it. This is kind of a metagame call, because this deck is pretty bad against control. Obviously, you do have things like the Great Henge. You've got some Vivians in the sideboard. We'll get to the sideboard in just a sec here, but... it definitely does struggle. If their win conditions are only Teferi and Shark Typhoon, you definitely have a lot of game against them, but I have not really been able to handle them doing other things. I lost to a deck playing Approach the Second Sun, and so if they're going way over the top of what you're doing and you have a hard time interacting with it using things like Skyclave Apparition or just playing a lot of creatures, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. There's not very much you can do about it, but it is a metagame call, and so basically you're just hoping to play against the decks you're targeting, and decks that you're not targeting you don't have a ton of game against, which is just fine. So Sky Sovereign is a little bit a piece of a technology for Sultai. It is very good against Nissa because you get to kill the land when it enters the battlefield. And then when it attacks, you can hit Nissa for 6, hopefully, 7 if it stayed in play. But the point is that you get to kill the land while hitting Nissa, and that is very good. Vivian is obviously good for control. You can play extra cards and make 3/3s. That's wonderful. Harbinger is for when they have lots of black removal, and then Thrashing Brownodon is obviously for artifacts or enchantments if you need a little bit more game against those, if your Skyclave apparitions, are spread a little bit thin. If they lack removal, there's extra Fairgrounds Wardens. If they have lots of removal, I swap the Fairgrounds Wardens for some Baffling Ends. And then Authority is also a wonderful card against Gruul. You don't need a ton of help, but it is very good against them and can randomly be good in other situations as well. Oh, I didn't talk about Elder Gargs, but it's another weakness of Gruul that they have a difficult time dealing with very large creatures, so this card is obviously insane against them as well. Pretty much you just have all the tools you could possibly want to just crush the Gruul matchup. And hopefully we play against it a lot because it is very popular right now. So with all that out of the way, let's get to the games. All right, let's play first. A couple apparitions, couple companies. This seems great. We're going to lead on Sun Petal tapped because Branchloft Pathway does not allow it to come into play untapped. All right, a red. I like the look of that. So we're going to make another white, then drop our Aspirant, and then we have a little while to miss on lands here if Aspirant grows out of control. Okay, now we don't have a ton of time. Well, if we don't draw any lands, we're going to lose to goblins. This is not good. I guess I just hold back. But if this is a Krenko, we are pretty much just dead. And there's a ringleader on top. I mean, I'll play it. We'll just spread the counters out, but I don't think there's any way we can win. All right, well, we can apparition the chieftain. And yeah, making one big threat doesn't seem appealing. That's pretty good. Honestly, I'm just curious as to how much damage this will be. Oh yeah, let's see it. No blocks. So they dealt me 130 damage. That's pretty sweet. 132. Okay. So against goblins, they have no removal, so we really want Fairgrounds Warden. Yasharn is actually pretty good against them, but Sky Sovereign is too slow. I think I'm gonna shave a little bit on, let's say, Harbinger. And maybe a Henge, because we're not really going to need to grind against them. We just need to disrupt. So drawing a lot of extra cards and gaining some life doesn't matter as much, and then we'll get in the 3 Baffling Ends. Authority of the Consuls is also very good against them because it stops all of their haste. So what do I want to trim for this single authority? Could just be an Ooze. Ooze is not actually that good against them. And we still like our apparitions for, you know, obviously they're lords, but like it also hits the horn. So that looks pretty good to me. Like you could make an argument for maybe some Thrashing Bronodons, but I don't think the horn is like that serious. If you can get down a Yasharn and disrupt a few of their early things and get down an authority or whatever, they're pretty crippled, so let's play first. Well, I'm going to learn my lesson and mulligan this. I mean, I had 2 lands last time, but let's ship it. This is also not very good, but I'm going to keep it anyway. And we probably don't need the second elf. The first one should be plenty. All the mammoths I could ever want. Yeah, we'll pay the 2 life. All right, that is also... I mean, that's actually a fine draw. Because now I can play my Mammoth. The The problem is if they have a Krenko here, this is pretty much just all over. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I'm a little surprised to see that many Gem Palm Incinerators in their deck. Okay, well, how much damage is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 there. Single block here. Single block here. 15. So they kind of can't all-out attack me. What I'm wondering is if I want to save Fairgrounds Warden for after they play Chieftain. I guess they can also play Skirk Prospector, and they have a land, so they could play, like, multiple things. I mean, Llanowar Elf pretty easily blocks Muxus, so I guess I'm just going to hold it and hope for the best. Yep, single block. Alright, it's nice that I can play both of these. Luminarch Aspirant doesn't really help. Yeah, still no attacks. Wow, that might be the worst ringleader I've ever seen. That card always draws me like 4 cards when I'm playing goblins. Prospectorino. And I'm probably just going to block with Aspirant here because it's not really doing anything for me. Yeah, we're holding on for dear life. I think at this point I can send my 4/4. If they want to block with 4 things, that's fine. It's kind of tempting to send something else to make it so that they have to block. I mean, I guess Kazandu Mammoth just trades with 2 Gem Palms. That's kind of bad for me. But it does shrink the number of goblins they have. Does that even matter? It might. Let's just send the 4/4. Castle Embereth is pretty bad for me. That's a good draw. Alright, we might still be in this. Send the Beast. They can block with 3 things, but I think that's fine. All right. And then the plan will be to accompany on attack. Maybe before attacks if they have a haste guy. Okay, that resolves. Let's company. Okay, so we can put a 5/5 here. They get to double pump, but I think I'm fine trading Mammoth for one of these. Now the question is, do I want to block with Elf? I can't really block anywhere else, and I don't really want to take 11, so I assume so. I mean, it's 12-13. That seems pretty bad. Yep. Yep. I kind of can't believe they're not just swinging everything. I guess, well, I guess then I killed him on the crackbacks, so. So let's see. I could just get rid of Muxus. So I think what I'll do is send the Mammoth and the Ooze. Do I want to send Ooze? Probably not. Yeah, let's just send the Mammoth. All right, they take it. And I'm not even sure I want a Fairgrounds board and anything, but, like, I do keep having to block Muxus, so I think I'll just take that. But I really think they should be, like, just jamming everything. I mean, once again, I guess they're at 2, but it just seems kind of crazy to me. All right, Sunpetal Grove is not a good draw, but at least I can activate my Ooze some more. And I think I send both. Ooze can be 8, so they're only gonna... There's, like, no way they try to gang block it. Let's see. Can they activate Castle Embereth twice? It is 3 in taps, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana, so they can. But that takes out so many of their things that I think I'm fine with that. And I have to assume there's like 5 creatures. Oh, yeah. That can put Ooze up to 8. Okay. Yep. Yep. I mean, if they just brick on top decks until I kill them, I'm going to be... My mind will be blown. So let's get Ooze up to an 8-8. And a little extra life doesn't hurt. But between Castle Embereth and like a Muxus, I doubt it's going to save me. And they, of course, have to block. Okay. I mean, this is maybe the largest ooze I've ever made. I feel like I sided one of these out, too, because I said it wasn't good in this matchup, but it's, like, kind of the only thing that I've got going on. And now, obviously, ooze doesn't need to be any larger. But I think the extra life is going to help. Boy, I'm, like, never going to block with either of these. But I think... Yeah, I think I'll just put it on one of them. And we'll attack with all three. They don't even bother to Embereth. Okay. And they're dead next turn. So if they can kill me through 3 blockers from 32, then I lose. Wow. The Goblin Flood is real. Okay. Well, hopefully we draw, like, one of our sideboard cards this time. That would be nice. Ooh, getting to lead on Authority is so good. And then we just have a bunch removal and some large dudes. That works for me. Let's do it. I lied, though. We are not going to lead on Authority. We're going to lead on Elf, of course. Yeah. All right. So I definitely want to play Authority and something else. But I don't want to play any of my removal spells, so it's possible I could actually just sneak a Mammoth in right now. I think I'm gonna. All right. So now we want to lay down the removal. So I think we get to go Fairgrounds Warden. Like that. No. Okay. Green, white, green. There we go. Send the Mammoth. And play Authority. That's a very hard card for Goblins to deal with. Alright, I do like Yasharn, but I think I want to just Baffling End. Yeah, so let's play the green. Let's Baffling End the Chieftain. Let's get in with these two. And I think I'm just going to straight up play the Beast because I have the 1/1 Elf. Yeah, and now I think they're just pretty much dead. Let's go get some lands. We'll play the Forest. And then I'm going to send everybody. They're going to have to block 2 things. Or they can choose not to. Play another 1/1. And now all their stuff comes into play tapped. All right. That was a pretty good win. Let's play first. Elf into Aspirant is not the most amazing start, but like your best draws are going to involve Elf on turn 1, so we're going to keep this. Okay. Could be Gruul, could also be the mirror. I'm going to offer the trade. They decline. Then we'll play Aspirant. Oh, I should have played that before combat. That was really bad. Whoops. Okay, they are Gruul. No blocks. All right, well, we can make up for this. I assume I'm trading with On-Crop Crasher. The question is, do I want to leave Elf back? And I don't think there's any reason to do that. Am I trading? I get 2 3/3s next turn. But I have 3 lands in hand. I think I just kill it. Sky Sovereign is a huge draw. Wow. I don't actually even think Sky Sovereign's that good in this matchup, but they seem to think so. Okay. So I like cutting Sky Sovereign. Yasharn, I've sideboarded for this matchup like 1,000 times, so we can cut the Harbingers, and then we just bring in Baffling End. We cut Fairgrounds Warden, because Fairgrounds Warden becomes kind of a liability once they have a Braid, and so does Sky Sovereign. So what you really want is just stuff that they can't deal with, which for the most part is just large creatures. We like Thrashing Brontodon because it's a great blocker against them, and also happens to snipe an Embercleave should that happen. Authority is great because it takes away their haste. And I'm actually short a card, so I can kind of do whatever I want here. I guess I'll just bring in a Questing Beast. It at least has Death Touch, so it can trade with maybe one of their beasts, or something even bigger, like if they are bringing in Elder Gargaroth or something like that. You know, you could bring in the Sky Sovereign, but once again, they're bringing in their Braids. Henge already helps stretch that a little bit thin, and Lovestruck Beast is just straight up good against it. So I don't think it's necessary, but you have so many great cards against them, you can just kind of pick your poison. But I think we'll rock like this. Oh, turn 1 Elf, you love to see it. Stomperino. I respect it. Okay. With any luck, they can't do anything else. Yeah, 2 green is not going to do it. So let's play this tapped. Just play another Aspirant. 3 damage is a lot to pay in this matchup, so... Also, like, there's no reason to play Apparition this turn, so... But, like, let's say one of these was another card that I could play by Lightning Bolting myself. I don't think you want to do that. Yep, we're just going to Apparition that. Make this guy 3/3. Get in for 3. Play this tapped. And then we have Collected Company coming down the line. Okay. There's that Abrade. Seems fine to me. No attacks, and we'll do the Collected Company end step. All right, here we go. Let's spin the company. I do like getting a Brontodon down. That prevents them from getting back in this with an Embercleave. So we'll take that, and I'm not so sure about Aspirant. I kind of just want the Mammoth, even though I don't have a land. But maybe Aspirant is better? It's definitely questionable. We'll just take the Mammoth, though. Okay, land is nice. So we're going to Apparition away the Spellbreaker. Jam for 6. And at this point, I'm feeling a little bit... Well, no, we're going to play this tapped. I was going to say I'm feeling a little bit frisky. Oh, wow, I should have played that before combat. What am I doing? It's a little hard to commentate sometimes. And play well. I mean, it's hard for me to play well all the time. Oh, no, Elder Gargs. What are you even going to do about that? But what I was going to say is, like, maybe I could have played Ooze that turn, but I think I'd rather leave up sacking the Brontodon. So why don't we Apparition away the Spellbreaker? And we'll play Ooze, and I think, like, they did have a Magma Spray. But I'm at 20. So I think I'm just going to send both of these. Yeah, if they want to double block, that's totally fine. All right, good games, Random Mage. All right, we are 2-0 and in the top 300. That's pretty sweet. I like having a couple of apparitions. So Luris means, it could mean auras, which could be bad. It could also mean sacrifice, which could be fine. Unlikely it means sacrifice, though. It's probably either auras or Arcanist. But I think we're going to keep this anyway. Because at least I can remove their Arcanists. All right, we'll lead on Temple Garden. So the problem with this matchup for us is that Kaya's Ghost form means you get the thing back, even if I exile it, which is pretty brutal. Go ahead and make a 1/1. Don't have anything better to do. And SRAM is going to have drawn them 2 to 3 cards this turn. So by the time I Apparition, the damage is kind of already done, and there's the Ghost form, so I can't even get rid of it. Obviously, we're going to cast the Apparition, but SRAM will just come back, and then they will have drawn a lot of cards. And they will be able to recover. No reason to block, I don't think. And we'll just try to work through the Ghost forms, but they play 4 of them. There goes my other Apparition. 4 I will probably block. At this point, I mean, I can play Lovestruck Beast, but really we're just going through the motions. I could still rip a company, and that might get me back in this. But I expect this turn to be pretty explosive here. Okay, just 6 flying isn't too bad. At least we're not dead. All right, there is a company. Activate that ability. It never ends up mattering, but you do it anyway. And we're going to pass. Actually, am I going to pass? They do play the Sajiri something. It's not Sajiri's Step, but the point is that they can grant it protection. So I think I'm just going to do it now. And I get nothing anyway. That's a shame. All right, I'm still alive. All right, Garrick's Harbinger is not going to do it, so let's pack it in. Okay, so obviously we want all of our removal. They don't really play removal. So we can do Baffling End and the extra Fairgrounds Warden, and then Thrashing Brontodon for obvious reasons. Yasharn is, like, mildly interesting because it stops them from using Selfless Savior, and I believe it also stops the Eidolon as well, but I don't know if the lists are playing that. The one that I'm working on does not, so I think, like, at the absolute most, you'd want one Yasharn. I think Sky Sovereign is way too slow. And Authority of the Councils doesn't do anything. Elder Gargaroth at least has reach, but that doesn't seem like it matters. The First Strike stops Questing Beast from getting in. So I feel like maybe Yasharn is just too cute. Like, yes, it does do some things, but it doesn't really affect their main game plan, which is creating an unanswerable threat. So let's get rid of it. I want my companies to be as good as possible, despite the fact that I'm bringing in 3 Baffling Ends. And it's possible that I just want to cut the Great Henge, because putting +1/+1 counters on my creatures and drawing cards doesn't really help me if they're attacking me for 10 flying twice. Like, ostensibly it can, but the large Core Spirit Dancer prevents me from attacking for enough turns where I don't think it matters. So I'm going to do something weird here, and I'm going to side out all 3 of these, and we'll see if it works. I feel like this is just a really bad matchup either way, but we'll see. All right, we've got a couple removal spells and a company, which is pretty good. I think I can lead on Mammoth to make sure that I get to 3 mana on time. And I think that SRAM really pushed the Auras deck over the top. Like, it is actually very, very good. That is a good draw. And I'm just going to play stuff because I'm not really afraid of their removal. That's unfortunate, but I can just get the Brontodon down. And now I have to draw Baffling End. But yeah, you can see they've just really got a truly wonderful mix of cards that's very good at beating a lot of decks. Unfortunately, I can't get tricky there and make it lose flying in combat, but we will just go ahead And I think attack all. Yep. So I'm at least going to snipe that 1/1. So none of my enter the battlefield triggers work. Is this first strike? It is. But I guess we're just grabbing 2 Harbingers. Ooh. That's a pretty good draw. Yeah, I'm just going to hit them as hard as I can here, I think. Draw 2 cards. Hopefully. Yep, ooze. Okay. Game 3. Yeah, we managed to pull apart their house of cards there, but, like, it's really dependent if they get Hushbringer that you just have to draw Baffling End, and Collected Company does not help you do that. And neither does Harbinger, so you just need to get lucky pretty much. And I had 5 lands in play, but it felt like by the time I get Elder Gargs down, their thing is just too big. But I didn't miss Henge at all, so I feel pretty happy with this. This is a tough matchup to win on the draw, though. I do have 2 Baffling Ends, though. Okay, let's keep it. Not even Thoughtseize is going to prevent me from Baffling Ending at least something. Took my Elf. Interesting. So, Florahedron, I could play on 2. So I think what I'm going to do is do Mammoth tapped. Because then next turn I can go white, Florahedron, and then play Collected Company. Okay, well that plan's a bit out the window, but that's okay. All right, well, I kind of wish I had some attackers. We'll attack for 1. All right, there's the SRAM. And we are, of course, going to baffle him. Maybe I want to do Apparition just to get an attacker in play, because they are developing really slowly. I kind of like that, actually. And I guess I need triple white in very rare instances for my 7-drop. There's Luris. And Kaya's Ghost Form. But I have double Baffling End for that. That should be okay. And I still have another one, so... Attack for 3. Alright, you get a 2/2. And give it flying. Don't really care about that. And as tempting as it might be... Well, actually, I'll just hit it with Fairgrounds Warden. It's a token. That's awesome. Oh, Ooze is so nice, but I think I'm just going to lay down the Brontodon. Yeah, Ooze only gets up to a 3-3, and then... Well, no, that's not true. It can be a 4-4. I still like the Brontodon, though. But maybe they'll use Heliod's Punishment on Ooze or something like that. Oh, wait, I can still play Brontodon as well? Okay, we're going to do that. Yep. Didn't really realize I had 5 mana. Tangled Florahedron, what a confusing card. Okay, there it is. But they didn't use it on Ooze. Honestly, I kind of want to hit their Sentinel's Eyes. And then we'll grow the Ooze a bit. And I think it's just better to play another creature and keep going wide. And they're dead in one more attack, and I have a Baffling End. I think we got this. I kind of can't believe we beat this deck. Crazy. Alrighty. Good games, Kente. Okay, I mean, we've got a 2-drop and a Company. And we can even play Apparition on 3. Okay, that works for me. Oh no, are they Sultai? Oh no. I hope that this means sacrifice. They're almost certainly Sultai. Okay. Then I probably want to hold the Ooze. But we don't have a ton of game against this deck, so we need to be really smart. The problem with that is that I am not very smart, so we'll see how this goes. Man, okay. Whew, I was going to say, if they Nissa this turn, that's just brutal. But they do not. So we can go land, and then we can pass. And I'm going to try to Company. Okay, we'll definitely take Beast and Elf, because neither of these two cards do anything, so... Pretty likely they kill Lovestruck Beast. Yep. But I think... The problem with Lovestruck Beast... Well, I guess they get it. On odd, they leave the token, so that's, like, okay. But we don't actually have anything else to do. Maybe I just want to play Company on end step. That's got to be just, like, the best thing to do, right? So we'll keep playing green to eventually use on our Ooze. Then we'll make a 1-1, and I'm not going to send Elf because of Shark Typhoon. Okay, there's Earl. They can't reanimate it this turn, can they? With any luck, I'll be able to stick Ooze. And eat that thing. But let's just Company now. Elves is not under Summoning Sickness, so we can definitely go Ooze Aspirant. Eat the arrow now. And let's see, 6 mana for Henge. I'm gonna jam it. Okay. So they already want to kill Ooze, and they probably already want to kill Aspirant. I probably don't need elves anymore. So let's say they have Extinction Event. Extinction Event on even gets rid of 3 things. So it's probably elf. So there it is. Yeah, I mean, let's just jam all our stuff. I'm still hanging on to the Ooze for another Uro. And putting the counter on Elf makes Elf into something they'll eventually have to use a removal spell on, and then leaves Luminarch as a 1/1 to allow my Lovestruck Beast to attack. Obviously, they're going to be interested in killing Luminarch Aspirant either way. Okay, perfect. We can snipe that other Uro. And we can kill Nissa this turn. Fantastic. Eat that. It's kind of tempting to Fairgrounds Warden the Overgrown Tomb anyway. I think we will. Stone Rains them once. Couldn't hurt. All right, I'm honestly pretty surprised by that. So they're going to be bringing in Noxious Grasp, which makes things like Elder Gargaroth not very good against them, but obviously we're still going to bring in Vivian. And I think we want both Sky Sovereigns. Once again, this is a good answer to Nissa. It just beats up on it in a, you know, probably about as profitable as you could ever hope to be against that card, which is not very. They have lots of removals, so Fairgrounds Warden is kind of a liability. I don't think you want Baffling End, despite the fact that it's pretty good against Uro. Like, Apparition is already pretty good, and you also have Ooze, so you already have, like, kind of enough to do against that. And I think I'm going to go down to 1 Yasharn and play 3 Harbinger. It's just good. And if they don't have a Aether Gust, it's very hard for them to remove it, and it helps you draw extra cards. So I'm going to try it like this. I am not really settled on a great sideboard plan for Sultai. You know, like, Questing Beast is definitely an option. It's probably actually better than Yasharn. Well, maybe. Like, Yasharn doesn't do anything. This can at least, like, hit a Planeswalker, but Yasharn grabs me lands, which can be useful in this kind of matchup. So it's kind of a toss-up. I don't think you want Thrashing Brontodon for anything, so this seems like the way to go to me. I like having a Vivian. I would hate it if they Thoughtseized it, but I don't think I'm shipping this. Like, it's plenty of lands and Vivians, so... What more could you ask for? 2 Vivians? I suppose you could ask for 2 Vivians. Here comes Thoughtseize, and there goes Vivian. What? They didn't take Vivian? Are you crazy? My card's not even that good. Alright, so... Do I want to play Florahedron on 2? Like, they can just kill it, and then it doesn't ever tap for mana. I think we just play it as a tap land. It's the most likely way it, like, actually adds a mana to my mana pool. I'm not loving drawing this many Henges. Makes them look like a genius for taking Lovestruck Beast, I will tell you that. Yeah, we'll just play this to, like, hide information, I suppose. Alright, I'm really glad that wasn't Nissa. Still nothing to do, but we can just go, like, walk straight up to Vivian. They probably have a Tail's End for it, but... I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to just do nothing. Okay, well, maybe they won't have blue? They probably just have, like, Noxious Grasp, though. Okay, no blue up, so at least it resolves.
You want to fight me? That's precious.
Yep, and we'll go Reach. Because they have things... Whoa, no Noxious Grasp? Uh-oh, this could be good. We could be in, like, actual medium good shape. Okay, so what could I do? I mean, do I just jam Henge? Probably. Like, if I minus, what could I go get? Like, I could get an Ooze. Oh, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Well, I guess I could only snipe one Uro, but that's better than, like, no Uros, right? Okay, let's do that.
I brought friends. Lots of them.
Wait, it just enters play, right? I get to get all three, don't I? Oh my god, this is so good. Where's Ooze? Where's Ooze? Give me Ooze. Yep, let's eat 3 Uros. What do you say? Maybe I should have held back there to block for a possible Nissa, yeah. Because I do want to protect my Vivian.
Strange and magnificent world.
Well, now I lose Vivian. But I do get to jam Henge. Yeah, attacking there was kind of a mistake. That definitely let them back in this pretty significantly.
I hate this.
And no attacks. Okay.
The land fights for us.
Yeah, I'll trade. Fortunately, Apparition doesn't do anything, but it does draw us cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Are they going to, like, kill it in response? Like, it doesn't do anything. It's a sad little apparition. Look at how sad she is. Okay, that's nice. Let's go ahead and play that. I don't want to go too ham on Harbinger, but I think I can jam another apparition. Because if they have another extinction event, I get kind of blown out. But the only card I care about losing is Harbinger. And I can't really afford to, like, not play stuff because Nissa's threatening to ultimate and we'll have 2 blockers. So I think I just gotta play this. Oh, I'm gonna feel silly if this is a crisis. But if it is... Okay, so Nissa gets hit pretty hard here. Wow, and I can make all my stuff indestructible? Alright, well, let's do it. So I guess I can play Harbinger first. Maybe I just play Lovestruck Beast. And we'll see if we draw a removal for Crisis. We do not. So I think we're just going to call then.
You try my patience.
But with their hand refilled, I don't like my spot. I really messed up losing my Vivian. I think that's when I lost this game. But who knows? I mean, Henge might be able to power me through this. Elder Gargs is definitely tough for me to beat. Whoa. That's a weird attack. Now they lose their Nissa. Yep. Unfortunately, they probably just have another one. But I think I'm just going to play all the cards I have. Yeah, and then I've still got a company? Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to company to get rid of this 12/12 flyer. You got me. How many cards do they have? 3. Maybe I just double block it with apparitions. That makes sense to me. All right. Well, we'll jam Aspirant. That does not do it. Okay, I made a lot of mistakes that game. That's sad. We actually had a position that I think was able to be leveraged into a win, but I played my Skyclave Apparition instead of my Garruk's Harbinger, and then they stuck a Giant Crisis that I lost to. And I also let Viv die by attacking with a token, so We definitely just gave this one away, I think. So that being said, is there anything else that I want to do? Yeah, Fairgrounds Warden still seems pretty horrible. So I think we're fine like this. All right, let's play first. I do like having an Ooze and a Henge. This is also a pretty fast Henge if they don't have the Thoughtseize for me, so let's keep it. All right. Yeah, we'll play Lovestruck Beast. I feel like it's gonna get eliminated, but I don't think I just not play it. I don't think that makes sense. And with any luck, this will just be an Uro. Yep, Fatal Push there is pretty good. There goes my Henge. Maybe Ooze. But yeah, this spot is bad. There's the Nissa. Coming in for 3, no blocks. Yeah, and unfortunately we just get attacked to death by lands. There's not very much we can do about it right now.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I'm just gonna pass.
Harness the elements.
Suppose I have to block. But now they will have 4 lethal attackers, and there's nothing I can draw. Okay, good games, Ivanko. All right, we are 3-1 headed into our final match. That second game versus Sultai, I will probably be thinking about for a while. All right, what do we got here? I think this hand is too slow. We are on the draw, and the first play we have is on 3. Let's mulligan. This is much better. Very exciting. Let's keep this. And I wonder if I want to get rid of a company. It seems risky to ditch a land, despite the fact that we're going to lead on elves. But I also hate to, like, bottom a company. You know what? Let's bottom a company. Let's be disciplined. This just... all of this all executes no matter what we draw, so... I think it's disciplined to bottom the company, but I kind of hate it. And I think I'm going to lead on Temple Garden because I don't want to decide on Branchloft Pathway yet. Does that make sense? I mean, I guess... So I could lead on Branchloft Pathway, but I end up shocking myself, I think, at some point anyway, but maybe not. Yeah, you know what? Let's just play it as a green. These double-faced lands are surprisingly difficult to play with. Like, you need to really be paying attention. I have a Henge, so I think I'm just going to jam the Beast. And if they counter it, I mean, I have company next turn. Is this going to be Sultai? I feel like they might just be green-blue. Like, you don't see Temple of Mystery and Sultai. Okay, perfect. So we're going to send the 5/5. Because I'm feeling like they want to play some kind of flash game against us. Yep, that's fine. And they block it. Okay. So let's play the company. Okay, Frilled Mystic. But I get to stick Henge. Unfortunately, I can't... Oh, I think I can play Luminarch Aspirant, right? If I use Elf to play Henge. So let's do that. Let's bash for 6. Boy, Krasis is not going to help you very much. Okay, so I can lead with Mammoth. Oh man, another company. Let's just do it. This is just brutal. Yep. I don't know what you're hoping to find off that barrier breach. Okay. Boy, it sure is unfortunate that our final boss is a 79% Simic Flash deck. I think I like Authority of the Consuls. It just makes their stuff enter play tapped and gains me a little bit of life and can sneak in underneath. That way, when I'm in attackers, they'll have a little bit of a hard time playing tricks on me. Exile up to 3 target enchantments. Interesting. This is going to be tough to win on the draw. And, you know, all of my sorcery speed removal seems not great. I just have to find ways to make them tap out. Is Authority even good? I'm not even really sure what to play against this. I feel like I like Questing Beast here, so let's just take that. It's got Vigilance and Death Touch, so it can hold the ground against something like a Brineborn Cutthroat that has grown out of control. I mean, Fairgrounds Warden and Skyclave Apparition are pretty good against that, so maybe Authority is just kind of dumb. Like, they still get to do the thing, they just don't get to block. But, like, making it so they can't block, like, isn't that good? I don't think. That's pretty much all I want. Let's just try it like that. Man, this is slow, but I do get to stick an early Aspirant, and that should be pretty good. It's not super likely they can counter it. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I've got to play a 2-drop. But unfortunately, all my lands currently come into play tapped, which is not great. That is not great. But if I just keep making them counter every turn, as much as I possibly can, then they can't get ahead by playing their creatures on my end step. Would I rather just play Mammoth here? Because if I play Sunpetal Grove, and then I play Mammoth, it's not clear that I will draw a land, so I think I need to just play this tapped. Nope. Want to play you tapped. Alright, Cutthroat it is. Incubation Druid, interesting. So let's see. I just have one creature in the graveyard. If I play Harbinger, it just gets countered and the Cutthroat grows. I'd really like to just use the Ooze to get it to 3. This becomes a 3/5, which is kind of concerning. But I'm also afraid if I don't cast something, then they're going to be able to play something on my turn. Like play another Cutthroat or something. So yeah, I think I just jam Harbinger. The Ooze will still be able to trade with Cutthroat. That resolves, interesting. No attacks. I feel as though my life total is much more important than theirs. Yep, no way am I putting that on top. Okay. So now, I think I'm just going to jam Questing Beast and see if they've got another counter. Okay, there it is. And let's go ahead and eat it. Gain a life, get up to a 3/3. So we can still trade with that Cutthroat. And no attacks. Cultivate is an interesting include in this deck. Okay. Now we're talking. I think we just pass. Sure. Don't most of your spells have flash already? Let's company. Okay. I like a couple creatures. Let's eat the Aspirant. This thing up to a 4/4. And now once we head to combat, we can put the counter on Ooze. It'll be a 5/5. Henge will cost 4, and then I can go Henge one of my creatures. If they counter Henge, I don't really love that, so maybe I'm better off just playing the creatures. I think that actually makes sense. So let's lead with Fairgrounds Warden. Simic Ascendancy. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters. And then if it has 20 or more, you win the game. Okay. Does this tap for any color? Land you control. So it does tap for blue. I'm just going to jam the Apparition, though. We'll take that. I certainly wouldn't want them winning the game. Make this a 5/5 and jam. You know what? I would even trade Ooze for Frilled Mystic at this point, so. That puts 2 creatures in the graveyard for my other Ooze. Oh man, is that tasty. Why am I drawing so well against this deck? And, I guess I can't say that I didn't draw well against Sultai. I guess I didn't really draw well game 3, but... Yeah, these are all, like, free for Henge, but then I can't cast Henge. So let's, like, make them do something. Okay, that resolves. Oh, man. I really wanted to play Henge first, but we'll try and stop this. Yep, that works. I was like, did I miss lethal? But no. Fortunately, they're at 2. They could be at 1, but I think we've got this. I don't think Cultivate is going to get them there. And, you know, I don't mean to make fun. Like, Simic Flash is a sweet deck. So I do want to say good games to my opponent, Z-Man39. But it's not like a serious player in the historic metagame by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so here we are for the wrap-up. We went 4-1. It should have been 5-0. I'm going to lay awake thinking about that terrible, terrible game 2 I played against Sultai when my deck gave me a chance. It has to be, like, literally the best draw you could ask for, and I went and messed it all up. But if you're better at Magic than me, and you probably are, you'd probably really enjoy playing this deck because I think it has great tools to beat very popular decks currently on the ladder. That obviously can change in a hurry, but right now, you can really beat up Gruul, you can really beat up Sacrifice, you can win against Goblins if they just draw all lands. So I highly recommend it. I don't think I would make any changes, although I do think that the Questing Beast is like more like questionable beast, in that I don't really know when I want that card. Like most of the decks that I would want it against, I'm just like, well, they're going to have great removal for this thing post-board, and I guess I don't know where they're going to have small creatures, but also a Planeswalker, so I can attack, pass, and hit the Planeswalker. Like, when does that happen? I don't know. I don't really want it that much against Gruul because, you know, they can size well along with a 4/4. Something like Elder Gargs, they really can't. So I think it's just like a stronger include. So, yeah, I mean, that's really all I've got for you. I thought that the deck played really well. I had a lot of fun playing it. I'm having a lot of fun playing it on the ladder. This is one of the higher rankings I've ever gotten. Maybe not the highest, but it's definitely pretty up there, and I've played a lot of matches with this deck. So that just tells you that it can definitely win if you're playing on the Mythic ladder. So that's going to be all the time I've got for today. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next league.